Right, look what we got from school. I love this idea. I feel like this is probably becoming way more popular for like fundraising type events, school events, things like that, is they had different themed baskets that you could like bid on, and then you can set the starting bid, of course, and then you bid as it goes up. So really great way to make some awesome money, especially if you know folks that are in a position to like donate. So at Wesley's Lapathon, we won the cooking basket, which is cool because I donated one of the items in the cooking basket, and I was like, ooh, I'm gonna have to get me one of these. So I feel like, ooh, we got it back. So I donated from one of our like little local shops. They're different like preserves, which will be super yummy for a charcuterie board. And what else did we get in here? Oh, we got like a rolling pin. So super, super great idea. I love this one. And then the other basket. Oh, this is cool. Ooh, a brownie turner. This will actually work perfect for waffles too. Love that. This is like well, this would work too. So a little, this is actually kind of perfect Wesley size. Yep. And then, oh, they had a honey basket that looked super yummy. So someone, we have a beekeeper at our school, and they brought in a bunch of different honeys, and oh, that one looked pretty yummy. But some of the items, I mean, obviously you can get some of this stuff at a dollar store to like kind of fill it up. We got a lot of cake mix, so we're gonna share one with a friend of ours because she kind of wanted the cooking basket. But the other thing that looks super yummy, yeah, these are gonna be spicy, so these are gonna be for mommy. Yep. Oh, Sarah Finster. Oh, that's amazing. So she just pickles everything. She's gonna be a good gal to know because I loved pickled stuff. But the reason I'm sharing this, one, I'm super excited because I feel like, well, I can't say we never win anything because we won a really big giveaway like a couple years ago. We got to go skiing for a whole week. So I can't say that we never win anything. Maybe our luck has changed. But if you are looking for a great way to like fundraise, we do, you know, Kaylin's got a lot of therapies, a lot of equipment. If you need help opening that, let me know.
I need help.
Okay, set it down and I'll open it. Got a cute little jar, love that. Oh, cutting boards and garlic peelers. What? Yeah, so love that. But this is a really, really great way, especially if you can get folks to donate a few items so that you're not out the cost of putting baskets together. And then you could start the bidding at like, you know, $50, like whatever, depending on the basket. I've seen a lot of people do this with wine, and that goes over really, really well. Where there's just a big wine selection, all differently priced, and for $20, you're picking out, you know, a bottle. And this is kind of another way, similar concept, I guess, a little bit similar, but a great way to fundraise. Or maybe a raffle is another great way. So sell tickets for like $10, right? I do feel like over the years, if you give specific dollar amounts, or if you break it down for people, like, hey, skip your coffee this week. Well, depending on how many times you go to Starbucks, right? I mean, that's $6 a pop. So anyone that's drinking coffee could probably donate to a fundraiser for anywhere from $5 to $10. So if you make some of the increments smaller, because a lot of people want to participate, they want to show up and support, but they can't send you $500, right? They can't send you a large enough amount that's going to make a dent in your fundraising. But if you break it down of like, hey, we need 20 people to give us $5, and that's your goal for, let's say, the day, and then you go up the next day, usually that helps kind of knock down the large number of the goal, makes it a little bit more manageable, but also, Love a good cooking basket. The only thing that would make this more fun is if the things inside the basket matched up with like a date night, like a cooking night. Me and Brendan, we have gifted that over the years. We love doing stuff like that as like a date night. It takes the planning and the decision making out of a date night. So things like that could be easily incorporated into a basket to make it higher value. Is have an experience that is related to the gifts in the basket. Yeah. So another really great one, some of the other baskets at the school that were super cute and I think really sought after was like movie night. So it had lots of treats and things like that. Game night.
Which I won.
Which Wesley won, yeah. And so there was a game in there that we were actually really excited about. Is it called Shark Bite? Yeah, Shark Bite. So that one's really fun too. And we might share some of this stuff because it is a lot of stuff. We're not jump roping inside or go down in the basement where you have more room. Well, I think you're actually, why don't you put that back in the basket? I think you're going to get a haircut. So, fundraising ideas. We love a good basket. And think about your circle of friends. And then you can be specific as to, hey, would you mind, oh, this is another really great one, is we've had friends that have owned small businesses and have gifted lots of things. So not only does it promote their small business, do your part, promote their small business, and you also get really functional. So whether it's a gift card or an experience, those usually go over really, really well. But I'm also going to share over this weekend some other really great companies that help with fundraising as well. I think everyone's kind of familiar with GoFundMe, and so I'm going to share some organizations that the donations made to the company can be applied essentially to your child into kind of an account similar to like, kind of reminds me like HSA, right? Is you get these funds and then you can use them towards like medical type expenses. And this company just kind of broadens that, but it also gives you a chance where you're not paying the huge fees of GoFundMe, and it works really, really well for therapy. So I'm going to link them, share them, and share this with folks. Folks are always fundraising for a number of things, but medical expenses are at the top of that list, especially if you're in the world. You know that insurance coverage is, it's a joke. So medical expenses can, I don't want to get emotional, I got to take a minute, especially unexpected, right? Is no one plans for a traumatic medical event. And there are families living with just an overwhelming amount of medical debt and the constant just frustration and guilt over trying to afford the therapies and things that your child needs, or loved one, to make it all encompassing. So I'll share some other resources, wanted to share some of our personal faves, and you can also think about this with, other organizations that have gifted you an experience or done something really, really important in your life, meaningful, and gift baskets are a great way to also say thank you. So love a gift basket, but also want to share resources that I know the CP community needs. We're living in it. We know how expensive everything is that insurance denies. And I know, shocking, they deny wheelchairs. They deny mobility equipment. And don't get me started on bikes. Like, holy smokes, you have to get creative. You have to find grants. You have to think outside the box, because no family can afford it all. It's just access is hard. Access to medical equipment, medical interventions, recreational equipment, like it's never ending. So we got you. We're going to share, and I mean, comment if you've done a fundraiser or a really, really great gift basket that has gone over really, really well. I'm looking for all the creative fundraisers out there. We want to share what works so more families can also think outside the box and get creative and afford more of the interventions that insurance isn't covering. And yeah, so there's that. And don't worry, we're in the thick of it. We're working through credentialing. It's a lot of emails, to say the least. We're learning some things along the way as well. So I'll probably do a little review over this experience, because I know that we, as adaptive movements, right, we've got the perspective of a parent, we've got the perspective of a physical therapist that has been working with families for 20 years, and everyone seems to have the same problem, right? And we wanted to help do our small part. So we're going through the thick of it. We're going through credentialing, and hopefully we can, be able to reach more families where it's, not such a financial burden, because I know the position that families are in, and I know that what we offer is highly sought after, and it is very cost preventative. So we're doing what we can, and yeah, let's share more of the fundraising ideas, because I feel like that question comes up a lot. We have had questions about how we fund a lot of Kaylin's interventions. It seems like we're always doing something and always on the go. But yeah, you can always ask us. We're always happy to share. And we have had a lot of support from the organizations that we work with, and we've been on the receiving end of scholarships. We've been hustling. Sometimes we're trading services to help offset our costs, and it's the power of asking. You never know what is valuable to that other side that you might be able to offset your cost with. So, yeah. You can always message me. Always happy to answer question that's asked from a respectful place. Sometimes there's, it's a World Wide Web. People can be intrusive, and they can be blunt, and it can come across as judgmental. I'm just going to assume that the people asking are coming from a good place, and a place that's, in need of the information. And that's why we share it. I'm not sitting at my house not hearing from other families what they're struggling with. That's what we chat about, we our coffee dates, our get-togethers, our virtual meetups, things like that. These are the types of things that we're talking about when, we're getting together with other mamas. Well, in my case, other mamas that are in the thick of it. So, a little bit more content coming your way that will give you some fundraising ideas or access to organizations that can help you take advantage of an intensive. And there's some really great ones out there. And also, if it's just a tight season and you know that there's especially a surgery on the books, Care Credit, man. Care Credit is a really, really great way. Like, yeah, you have to pay the money back, but they're going to give you some terms where there's no interest. And if you have a time-sensitive need to making sure that you have an intensive lined up, like post-op rehabilitation is probably the biggest, where there are families out there getting game-changing surgeries for their kids, and then they can't get into the much-needed rehab. It's a problem. And they're already traveling for the surgery. It's tough. You might not have all the options in the same state that you have the surgery. Yeah. So families are having to take that in consideration, and they're holding off on surgery because they can't afford the treatment after. And that's not ideal. And it's just where we're all at, is we have to be able to line up and think about what that post-op care and that post-op therapy looks like. So we got you. We're going to help. And you'll find us in Arizona.